for the Terps. Maryland dressed in the white jerseys. Penn State in the all blue. We're off and running. Joe Beninati, Mark Dixon with you. Lacrosse on the Big Ten Network. The winner of this one gets top-seeded Ohio State Saturday at 8 here in Ann Arbor. The Buckeyes bettering the Scarlet Knights by 4 in the first semifinal.
A little bit of a face-off adjustment with Keithler taking over the primary duties. We'll also see Jonah Carrier, who's an outstanding player with the ball in his stick. The first possession goes to the Terps.
Urksa quickly. It's Maryland on top.
What a way to get the ball rolling if you're a Maryland Terrapin fan. A year ago, Urksa suffered a very scary injury on the field at Panzer, and we watched him slowly become really dominant over the last couple of weeks. Just a simple split dodge. Left to right, gets above goal line extended. The defense wasn't set for Penn State, and he's going to deposit it far post on Jack Frassian.
Maryland striking in the first 40 seconds of this affair with Penn State. Carrier kicked this one loose, and possession belongs to Maryland. Long stick midfielder A.J. Larkin comes up with a ground ball.
The goaltender for Hopkins make 20 saves.
Bryce Ford, formerly of Fairfield University, getting into the alley, rolling back, feeds for Spanos. He fires. Frassian the save. He took away the lower portion of the goal.
I love how Frassian got low.
Maryland at 10-2, Penn State at 10-3. Trainer, the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year. Angles in on Canfield. Here comes Schaller. Schaller with a well-timed double, ball down. And then it is McNaney who sprints from the goal to come up with it for Maryland.
It is Maryland defense so efficient.
Off the bench comes Jack Schultz, member of the Big Ten All-Freshman team. He has points in 5 straight. We're 3 minutes old in this second semifinal. A tally from Urksa has Maryland on top. Unsettled, back come the Nittany Lions, 3-on-2. Lehman hesitates, looks for Trainer. His bid's blocked. Easy pickings for McNaney. Then he's ridden well. Steal off the post. John King had the wide open goal, did not convert. The Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week.
And in the initial meeting, they ran Spanos out of the box, and he took advantage of short stick matchups using his size and strength to bully his way to the cage.
Keegan fidgets inside on King. He scores! Matthew Keegan.
Quick start for Maryland. We talked about the initial Frassian save, how he incorporated his whole body. But look at this. Ball gets knocked down again, and then the shot, doink, coming the other way. That is the difference between success and not success. And then we're going to see Frassian. Watch him try to make the save with his legs on this one. Got to get your stick down.
Terp games. 2-0 right off the jump for Maryland. Gills on the draw with Keithler, and possession comes up for the Nittany Lions with Luca DiBartolomeo. The first semifinal between Ohio State and Rutgers mostly played in the rain in chilly mid-50-degree temperatures. DeRocco, he's got his defender hung up. DeRocco, former Army standout, sneaks there. McNaney slams the door, and the ball comes up for Gravino, one of 5 different short stick defensive midfielders.
This tournament, keeping guys fresh, but also the bigger prize, Memorial Day weekend in Foxborough.
Spanos swings it for Schultz. He's inverted, midfielder below the goal line. Pass to the inside, that's plucked beautifully by Brendan Leary as he looks to run in transition. Terps ride him effectively to the midline, slowing down the break. Flash cut for Trainer. Double team came quickly as Canfield keeps an eye on Trainer, 22 in the blue. This is Penn State's first neutral site game of the season. Nittany Lions were 4-1 away from Panzer in the regular campaign. Aquino flicks inside. Score! Amon to the far corner.
Aquino, the Big Ten Freshman of the Year, and Jack Amon, the transfer from Rutgers. This is a nifty shovel feed from 23 in blue Aquino. But look at Leary. Thank you very much. Let's go the other way. Penn State settles it down offensively. And Aquino, the soft hands. And they have to respect him as a shooter. Look at that nifty backhand feed to Amon. Great vision, great wrist strength.
A 20-goal season for him with the Nittany Lions. Slicing Maryland's lead in half. It's 2-1 as we near the midway mark of the opening quarter. Wing play so important between these two teams. It's off of Gravino and out of bounds. It belongs to Ryan O'Connor. Spanos, big body, leans in, tries to bulldoze his way through the outstanding Alex Ross, who gets that defensive assignment. Keegan underneath towards the goal. Frassian finds that in his cross.
Yeah, Alex Ross on Spanos is mano a mano.
Off this roll, Spanos treated rudely by O'Connor. Shot clock down to 23. On the go, Schultz. Feed it back. This is backed up on the end line with 3.5 to play in the opening quarter.
Great look inside. Urksa just a shade off. I love the ball movement by Maryland, but I also love the disciplined slides of Penn State. They're not sliding recklessly and creating offense.
Braden Urksa working there against Aldridge. Short stick defensive midfielder. There's a double. Great pass. Score. Daniel Kelly on the put away.
This is pretty if you're a Maryland fan. Urksa gets hung up, and he's basically open season to get dropped. But watch his vision. And just when I say Penn State's not creating offense, too many guys slide. No reason to go there. Daniel Kelly fills the slot. Having a great season in the Northeast Conference, Maryland, their defense. That is a standard. When you say be the best, and you think about Maryland lacrosse, you think about the number one, you would think about defense.
Storied program, Maryland in its 100th season. Maryland beat Ohio State for the national championship in 2017. The winner of this one gets the Buckeyes in Saturday night's finale. Sharp angle, McNaney, no worries there. Logan, who holds the Maryland all-time record for saves, adding to those totals. There's an 8-second differential between game clock and shot clock. Long maneuvers in. Trainer takes it from the top. Been dealing with an illness throughout the week. Spinning Matthews. Keep it hot. Trainer opens up. Whips it off the outside as McNaney sent a boot at it. Liam Matthews with tallies in 3 of his last 4. Playing a little hide and seek with Aquino. Aquino to the alley. Fires one wide. Hunter Aquino, Jeff Tambroni said, dealing with the injury. He hasn't been on the field very much the last 9 days. He looks pretty fresh.
He does, and he's tall, he's lanky, had the sweet assist in the first quarter. And
whoa! From the angle, Long didn't need a lot of room. He zips it upstairs.
Ethan Long, 20 in blue, learned at the feet of the shooting whisperer, Torrey Casemeyer, back in Baltimore, got skills lacrosse. I was just about to make a point that Penn State's success is predicated on their ability to win matchups against Maryland shorties.
Nittany Lions on the year mark averaging about 12.7 goals per game. They get a draw win there from Reed Gills and a chance to stack possessions and tie up the score on this trip in the first minute.
But it's a two-headed monster you deal with Maryland. So we'll see how that conditioning piece plays into this game.
Keithler and Carrier, the X-Men for Maryland. Off this roll, dodge, great pass inside. McNaney, stonewall there on Wallstrom. 1992 National Defender of the Year. 2-time All-American at Maryland.
Separated my shoulder in high school.
No, really?
Bubba Burlace, yeah. Drilled me. Scored the goal, but I felt it for a couple days after.
Jordy Holmes runs off the pick. The rebound's inside. Trainer beaten to the punch again. McNaney at the end of the line with the hat tricks for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, much like Ohio State, Maryland is a team that gets it done by committee.
Stobaugh picking up Urksa. The return for Stobaugh. Bouncer, he scores! Elijah Stobaugh.
When we last saw Maryland against Johns Hopkins, they lost some confidence in this second midfield unit. It's important to have two lines. Look at the feed, and McNaney, the windshield wiper, stick in front of his face, snuffs out the opportunity. Stobaugh 6'4". Watch him invert behind the cage and use those long arms to get his stick upfield.
Stobaugh's sixth of the year. He had a couple of goals against Delaware. Did the same against the Virginia Cavaliers. Off this draw, Carrier gave a shove there to Brendan Leary. Play on, and it's Penn State ball. Frassian attacked on the ride by Urksa as we approach the 5-minute mark of the second quarter. Feed to Aquino. Off the split dodge from right to left. Here comes the double from Burlace. Matthews, one hand on the stick. Aquino floats it. That was read well by McNaney. He snares before it ever gets to the cross of Ethan Long. Braden Urksa this time is going to attack from the top. Share the rock with Keegan. Daniel Kelly in his familiar spot here on the flank. Lets it fly. He scores!
Kelly's a shooter. Another Torrey Casemeyer product. Wide open on that high wing, which is his sweet spot. And this is textbook. High to low, little give and go with Keegan. Ball finds its way back to 45, and you can hear the ping off of the iron here at the University of Michigan Lacrosse Stadium. Again, this is not 2022. This isn't even 2023 when you think about Luke Weirman being gone from the roster. Getting it done by committee.
A good team with its picking game. Screens, varieties. Lehman. Hedging out on him, it's Schaller. Off the screen there, McNaney rock solid at his off hip.
Great save, and Lehman got lit up. I thought the ball was in Lehman's stick a little too long in this possession, but I like how he takes advantage of some miscommunication, and that's A.J. Larkin lowering the boom. You know, you want to go into that prime real estate, you're going to have to pay the tax.
4 minutes, Mark. 4 minutes left. Good read and an intercept. Picking it off, it's John King. King, who hit a post earlier today. Unsettled. Nittany Lions moving it quickly. It's snapped wide by Wallstrom. The backup belongs to Maryland. Shot clock down to 15. Ford on the hop. No shooting room there. One more time. It's Kelly. Fires, he scores! Sneaks that one short side. Kelly has the hat trick.
Daniel Kelly is a left-handed player, and he benefits from the hustle at the other end. Let's take a look. You be the judge. There's the shot. Maryland. Referee says Peter Lake, closest when and where it goes out. Penn State not happy at all with that call. But then on the other end, watch Kelly, the lefty, recognizes the short stick matchup from directly behind the cage at X. Gets it, overplayed to his left, gets a stop.
Urksa getting a head start downhill on Parnham. Urksa feeds. Stobaugh rolls, fires, and Frassian slammed the door there on Elijah Stobaugh, who beat him earlier in this quarter. Whoops, it's fumbled there on the clear. Unsettled, 10 seconds left. Spanos, who's been quiet so far. We get a whistle and a timeout taken.
And they've limited transition, really eliminated it from Maryland, but the 6-on-6 and some of the more fortuitous bounces have gone the Terps' way.
Spanos at the buzzer, stopped by Frassian. That was a good save on a high bounce shot. that put an end to Ohio State's 11-game win streak in Columbus a few weeks back. Penn State doesn't want to hear any of that. They want to rally and earn their own berth into Saturday's championship. To the Offensive Player of the Year in the conference, Matt Traynor.
Yeah, Traynor under the tutelage of offensive coordinator John Haas, a Maryland graduate himself. And Ethan Long just got leveled.
Flag hits the turf. Extra man coming for Penn State.
Making the sign that they are going to look at this to see if it could be either downgraded or upgraded. There's one. I thought there was one prior, but that looked to be the only one. He gives himself up. And then 51 in white, McDonald continues through and levels. That can be the elixir that can get you healthy and back in the game.
Traynor attempting to light that fire right now. Working up top with Amo. This way Long. Feed to the inside. Whoop. There's another rough collision. Flattening Matthews. McNaney and the Terps. Feeds to Carragher. Kohler on him. Off this exchange, they'll bring it around for Peden on the split dodge. Going to the goal. Wraps it around off the iron, and a diving McNaney pounces on it. He had company in the crease. Slow this offensive set. Urksa took his eyes off it there. Attacking him quickly is Parnham, and he comes up with a ground ball takeaway.
Parnham punishes Urksa. And Ethan Long back in the game after taking a shift off. Probably shaking out the cobwebs from that hit.
Long with tallies in 7 of his 11 games. Traynor ready to go. Favors his right. Fires. McNaney stabs that and comes up cleanly again, looking for a break.
I love the take for Traynor. Dodge with authority. Get to the middle of the field. McNaney, though, continues to have the hot hand with the clean denial.
The same Traynor who had a huge performance in last year's semifinal win for Penn State. They devoured the Terps in that one. Going to the goal, Larkin. Pass for Spanos, right in. Kick save, Fressian. And on the end line, it belongs to Penn State.
Wow, business is picked up.
Big Ten semifinal number 2. Ohio State is through to the championship game. Traynor kept to the outside there by Canfield. Traynor fidgets back. Carragher, good catch, he scores! Patrick Carragher.
What a sequence. Beautiful job by Keegan and Kelly to keep it open. Larkin, a little dipsy-do. Spanos denied. What a save by Jack Fressian. And they turn it into gold at the other end. Watch Traynor. And they're not really respecting 26 Carragher. It's number 47 in white, Gorno. Should I stay or should I go? Great handle by Carragher. Worm burner beats McNaney. Great recognition by Traynor.
In one of Penn State's 10 wins on the season. 3 straight 10-plus wins for Penn State for the first time ever. This program clicking so well in Happy Valley.
Last year, first round, lost to Georgetown. You know, Jeff Tambroni has this program primed, and they're looking to make a run.
Long going to the goal. Hatcheted there. Burlace and company. They're going to give possession to Maryland. Still working over Traynor. Shot clock's at 22. Aldridge, short stick defensive midfielder, against Whittier, who's on this side of the field and moving his feet pretty well. Feed it inside, quick stick, score! Liam Matthews in the blink of an eye.
Will Peden making an impact on this game. His dodging ability, he's quicker than a hiccup. And you're going to see a feed of beauty as Peden gets the ball up top. Almost disaster time as Aldridge phantom check. Look at Petum whip it to Matthews, the Canadian sophomore out of Orangeville, Ontario. All in one motion. Smooth. I like how Lehman, though, has continued to test the matchup to try to get slides, try to create offense. Right there, that's something you cannot do. You can just tiptoe through the tulips.
Rebound was loose. The goal was empty, and it was spun wide by Wallstrom. On the end line, it stays possession for Penn State on a missed shot closest to the ball where and when it leaves the field. Gets possession from the officials. Shot clock's at 15 inside. The stash for Wallstrom. It's 6-5.
Once again, luck on the side of the Penn State Nittany Lions. Look at the scrum, and it just bounces to 21, Luke Wallstrom. How do you miss the empty net? Coach, leave me on the field. Let me try to make up for it. Great dodge by Long. Look at the head up, steps in, recognizes the slide, and the little twister offering from Luke Wallstrom makes up for missing that last one.
Less than 2 to go in the third quarter. A date with Ohio State looms in the championship game Saturday. Long-range bid that was blocked. DeRocco comes up with the ball. Shot clock's at 6. DeRocco feeds behind the back. Stunning goal for Traynor.
Penn State is feeling it. They only needed something to go their way. And a couple of things have in this quarter, mainly some pipe shots from Maryland. This is after Schaller ran over a pick. Not for the weak of heart. Look at the nice cut, and Traynor, one tall drink of water, runs out of angle, not a problem. BTB, far side of the cage, we are level.
With markers in 11 of his last 12. Carrier gets the draw. He wants to go right to the net for Maryland. Spanos slowing things down, finding Zach Gorno.
Bid Steelers. Rutgers and Yale are the two names that everybody talks about. Rutgers eliminated earlier today.
Maryland turning up the heat on the sideline on Lehman. It's slapped out of there by Schaller. 4 seconds to go in the quarter. Whistle. Going to have Penn State have one last chance. With 3 seconds to go, Aquino slings this one cross field. That's where the third quarter will come to its end. Long and a turn back for Traynor. Traynor against Canfield. Pop out for Long. Maryland defenders getting across in the way. Good takeaway, good scoop. First time for McDonald on the run. Finding an alleyway there. Kelly says, let's slow it up.
He has a knack for showing up in the fourth quarter.
Sure does. He's got 8 multi-goal games this season. He's not on the board just yet. Hasn't put his name on the score sheet to this point. Keegan has, and he does again. Matthew Keegan from deep.
It's not the goal, but it's the assist. Credit number 7 in white. He's such a tall body. He has the ability to see over defenses. 6'5", does a great job of diagnosing this setup, sees the slide, recognizes Keegan, and I think Frasian was screened on that shot, lost track of it.
7 multi-goal games this season for Keegan, the former player out of at Binghamton. 2 minutes into the fourth, it's Maryland by 1.
For this Maryland defense.
Carragher inverted against Kohler. Inside roll. Stopped by McNaney. Flashing off the goal line. 2 flags down on the turf.
And it will be reviewed. Oh, that's helmet to helmet right there on Jackson Canfield. Watch him come across.
40 seconds on the extra man. A look-away pass. Traynor spins, fires, that's blocked. Off the ground, goosing it ahead, A.J. Larkin gets help. And away comes Maryland with Jack McDonald. McDonald's going to go to the goal with Spanos. Spanos wisely pulls it out for Penn State. Terps still on the lead by 1, almost halfway through the fourth. Urksa ripped off there. Beautiful check and takeaway by Parnham.
That was nifty.
Parnham on the go, captain of the defense. Looks for Lehman. Nothing at the interior, so he'll pull back out. Now let's see how the Nittany Lions react after being discouraged by that extra man. Do they have that instant amnesia, forget about it, and go right to the tying tally? Here it comes. Score! Lehman!
If Penn State turns out to win this game, their captain, Kevin Parnham, 16 in blue, is going to be one of the primary reasons. Look at that beautiful poke check, and then he geeks it to himself, open space, get it over the midfield line, and the substitution game. Beautiful job by Penn State, waiting for the man to come in. Beats, it's a 6-on-5 right here, a little give and go, and Lehman tattoos the near corner. What a shot by number 4 in blue.
Mark, I've heard you and Jeff Tambroni speak about Kevin Parnham and talk about what he does, and a lot of it's below the surface. You guys refer to him as an iceberg sometimes. That was wide open. His beautiful takeaway from Urksa, leading to the tying tally.
Stamos, tough ground ball. John Tillman was screaming for a timeout. Officials didn't hear it. This is the right call.
As the Terps circle it up, they want Spanos from the top. He chooses Schultz, the freshman from New Jersey. Open from the wing, score! Another rocket from Kelly, his 4th on the day.
Such a smooth shooting stroke. 45 in white. That's his sweet spot. Look at Schultz. And Kelly's just standing out there, taking up residence on State Street. And the closeout, got to be a little bit more aggressive, got to come out there like a jouster.
McNaney barking instructions from the Maryland goal. Trainer ready to go against Schaller. Big Ten offensive player against defensive player of the year. Ball down, Maryland wins that battle.
Ball died in his stick. Can't have that happen. And now you're going to see Maryland be patient. They've got confidence in their netminder, all Big Ten performer Logan McNaney. They have confidence in this defense. Expect Maryland to be judicious on this touch.
Just 2 losses on the season for the Terps. Kelly scores! He does it again, and he has a handful.
He learned from the best. Torrey Casemeyer back in Baltimore. And allowing him just to stand. I like the little curl out. And if you're 28, Will Costin, you have got to be in the shorts of number 45.
Hey now,
Daniel Kelly.
Show. Roll back for Wallstrom. Collared there by Burlace. Long, working against Gravino. Shove below goal line extended. Aquino opens up. McNaney there to make the stop.
Great look, great shot, great save.
Urksa on the hop against Parnham. Urksa doesn't test Parnham there. Keegan's inverted, gets a jump on Leary. Sends this one to the goal, he scores! Keegan! 4 of the last 5 goals for Maryland.
You got to give the Terps a lot of credit. After Lehman tied the game, after that epic 3-minute defensive stand for the Terps, playing with a man down. Look at Keegan. I think he fools Frassion right there. Little hitch. It wasn't a bad lift, but it changes the motion.
So strong on that front swing is Keegan. That's the 4th different hat trick this season. And the Terps get possession off the draw on the wing play of McDonald. Now they can really milk the game clock. 39 seconds. The Terps had the backup, so they have the ball. And they can run for cover. Urksa trapped on the sideline. Stepped on it. Give the ball to Penn State.
I think Penn State, they're still in the NCAA tournament. It'll be interesting to see. They'll probably go on the road now. But they will be one tough out in the big party.
Pass inside on the extra man conversion. A snapshot score for Matthews. Some window dressing here with just 6 seconds to go.
Hear me out.
I'm listening.
6 seconds. Gills, can he do it? Can he push it forward and get one in maybe 3 seconds or so? Probably, improbable, but not impossible.
Carrier opposite of Gills. Gills has just had such a handle here. Going to the goal, he fires one that's stopped by McNaney, and this one's in the books.